Hi, collective. We're going to do a love reading today. In honor of it being February, in honor of Valentine's Day, but most importantly, in honor of yourself. We're going to use Arcana Lead Tarot today. What does collective need to know or hear regarding love right now in their life? And love extends to many spectrums: self-love, familial love, partnership, friendship. What? Split the deck and we got 2 of Cups. This might be like relationship love. Excuse the smug smile, because I know. Thank you, Spirit. 5 of Swords, this balance, harmony sort of feeling. I get this card so much, it's insane. Because I feel like right now, like, you've been working a lot hand in hand with your inner child as you've moved through these emotions, specifically like this kind of throat chakra unblocking, to where you feel probably the most comfortable in your life to speak up about the things that you want without like guilt, shame, or fear. And one of these things that you aren't afraid to say at this time is that you want love, or that you're open, that you're probably the most open to love that you've ever been. Even if there's still some resistance like to be worked through around that area, there could be this energy of not being afraid to say that it's something that you want. This could be something that you feel like you were deprived of, or that you had to perform for in your childhood. You could have had to beg for it. It could have felt like you had to beg for it. And I feel like during this time, you are probably the most open that you've ever been within your adulthood to receive love, because some of these things that you've been holding on to are kind of releasing and letting go. And your inner child wants this for you. They want you to be loved out loud, to be loved unapologetically. Got this one before, Ace of Cups, this new emotionally fulfilling chapter. See it especially with all this pink and like red energy, which could also represent the heart chakra. The heart chakra is normally, we see it as green, but it can also be like pink. So this could be just a new chapter that you're moving into emotionally as far as love goes, as you've released a lot of the pains of the past, a lot of these past relationships, particularly one that really kind of turned you off from relationships and love. And now you're moving into this emotionally fulfilling energy where you're more open emotionally. I'm kind of drawn to the water and how it's very still. And this is coming in because you're the most grounded in who you are. You feel like you're just kind of waiting. Being. I feel like you're being. And if it happens, it happens sort of energy. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. Which is a beautiful place to be. 2 of Swords. I think in some ways you may be contemplating if it's something that you feel like you're ready for at this time. I could also feel like, I feel like this could also be like a decision between two types of people that you're attracted to. The red handle being like that past sort of energy, like, because there may still be an attraction there to, like, if you're anxiously attached to an avoidant sort of person, and if you're avoidantly attached to like an anxious attachment style, even though you know that that's not what's healthiest and what's best, there could still be a draw to those sort of energies sometimes. But you know that this more stable energy, this more upright energy, this more grounded energy is the one that you deserve. And I feel like these emotions take time to like work through. There's no reason to feel like shame or guilt if you still feel yourself drawn to like the emotionally unavailable person. It also doesn't necessarily mean that you're like not ready for a relationship. I just think that a lot of the times, especially when these emotions are like deeply rooted in our childhood and our relationship with our parents, it takes time. It takes time and it takes exposure in order to like work through and truly heal a lot of this energy. I have a lot of resistance when it comes to like saying like that you need anyone, but I do feel led to say that like it's not, healing is not something that you can do by yourself. No one can heal you but you. But there's something about being around people that are working on trying to heal themselves and experiencing connection with them that can be very healing to you. This is the same reason why we go to therapists, you know. Healing doesn't, rather you choose to learn from therapy and you take what your therapist is telling you is completely on you. But sometimes, unless we're even faced with new information or a new way to think, we might still get there, but it might take 10 times longer if we're not engaging with these other energies that sort of expedite our healing, that sort of expand our healing. I'm getting that Sade song, Soldier of Love. I can't think of the words right now. But a soldier of love, especially with all of this sword energy. Again, love could feel like most of your life, like it's had to be something that you've had to fight for, and you've had to fight hard for it, and you've had to perform, and you've had to mask, and it just felt anything but safe. You were in like that ride or die energy. You feel like you literally had to ride or die for a person regardless of the way that they treated you or what they did, because love for you has been associated with a certain level of just like effort and push and fight. But whoever is coming into your life in this new chapter of your life, it's not going to be that same sort of energy. 10 of Cups at the back of the deck, which is a beautiful card. I love this card. I can get nothing but joy from this card. The way he looks at her, with just a certain level of just gentleness and curiosity and patience. Your ancestors, your angels, your higher team just being so excited for you, so happy for you. I get with the rainbow like a balancing of the chakras. Because I feel like the heart chakra, again, it's like something that you can work on healing within yourself through that loving relationship with yourself. But if you love yourself, but you still feel hatred for everybody else, that's still not, there's still a part of you that doesn't love yourself, because we're all reflections of our own inner world. I don't know, I just feel like there's something deeply correlated to this next chapter of your healing that has to do with engaging with other people in some sort of way, even if you don't feel like you're ready for it. you not feeling ready for it is like the signifier that it needs to come in, that it's going to come in to like help push you. Oh, because I get it. I get being comfortable in that solitude. But we don't grow from comfortability, right? We grow from uncomfortability. Page of Wands. Someone that's creative. I'm hearing someone that is water in a desert, that feels like water in a desert. Someone that is very heart-centered themselves. Drawing out, he's cloaked in green, and we got this oasis in the back. Someone that matches your fly. Someone that also gives, but is also comfortable in the energy of receiving. They have a very balanced energy. I'm drawn to how his hand on his masculine side is like very open. He's holding something on his feminine side, that receptive side. And what he or she, no gender in tarot, is going to give is this abundance of love. And they're going to give it freely. You know, he isn't holding on to it with any sort of grasp, but just kind of resting in his hand. I'm going to do 3 more cards, babes. Materialism. You be struggling a little bit to let some of these things go. Because there's a thought that if I let it go, then there's a likelihood that it's going to happen again. But you're not the same person that you were, so it can't happen again. You may interact with the same energies, but the situation is not going to be the same. Because you know when someone is right for you and when someone is wrong for you. And even if you are still, there's still a certain level of comfortability within an energy that you know is not what you deserve, because that's what you're used to, because of who you are now. Even though you have that level of awareness, you're not going to let them stick around. Because in this one specifically, you know, the chains are kind of loosening on the abundance. They're loosening on this sort of emotional energy. This energy of like passion. You know, so you could be reigniting your passion for life, and it could be attached to abundance. You could have just got a really great job, or just found a new passion that you really enjoy and love that brings you a lot of fulfillment, and you're trying to distract yourself from these other two that you're still holding on to, revolving around like communication and new connections. But also tied into this energy of like I don't know, this energy of this energy of community. There's a resistance to like that energy of community or relying on anyone else, especially with the cards that we've gotten before. I feel like you could have just let some more people go out of your life, and now you're like in this energy of of feeling like interesting into this energy of feeling like you don't want to open yourself up just so that you have to cut someone else off again. Throat chakra blocks or throat chakra clearing. Especially with the draw to like blue in this deck and all of this sword energy. You don't want to be with someone that makes you feel like your words are a problem. Queen of Swords. Yeah, there's a lot here about like communication. And how you are working through. I'm getting like these chains around your neck that have made you feel like communicating and advocating for yourself is like a problem. And so I feel like one of your biggest fears when it comes to a relationship could be around communicating. You got two cards with rainbows here though, and I feel like, again, you know, the only way to heal that wound that's around there is to be forced into the position where you have to communicate. So whenever who this is comes in, there's going to be something very healing about the way that they communicate with you. I feel like this is their energy. Queen of Swords is usually, I feel like, a card that's like spoken more negatively. But I'm getting with this card and how gently this butterfly, you're this butterfly landing on this like super sharp sword. You know, one movement and she could harm it in some sort of way, but her hand is very steady. Her energy is very steady. And so I feel like when you communicate with this person, there's going to be a certain level of steadiness within your voice. Because of how gentle they are with you. And again, with this card, we just get a lot of gentleness from the way that he's like looking at her. This person is not what you're used to. And there may be some resistance to them. Do not, you know, it's hard when you have never really had like a super healthy relationship because you don't know how to, I don't know, accurately perceive always how another person is. Because if you're used to it feeling like fast and furious and dangerous, then you could feel like when this person comes in and them being very grounded and stable, you can start to tell yourself like there's something wrong. Oh my God. Trust the wait. You are being prepared for your blessing. In order to receive, you have to be ready to receive. Things are going through now. Things you are going through now are not random. Trust the flow of the universe. I'm going to do one more oracle card. Trust the process. Thank you, Spirit. No matter how much you are being tested or pushed right now, stand your ground and push back. Believe in your own integrity and self-worth so much that no one can get in your way. Have the confidence to move forward. You can and will do this. Yeah, so I feel like you feel like, I don't know, just a certain level of frustration with yourself. If this is an energy that you've been trying to move through for quite some time. But like I said, this is not all for you to heal on your own because you didn't create it by yourself, right? You didn't create these wounds by yourself. There may have been some things that you did within your life that caused you to kind of have this distrustful feeling towards yourself. But a lot of these things, like, I'm getting from like your childhood and your adolescence, like, you didn't ask for that. You should have never had to perform for love. There's no amount of tap dancing that you should have had to do to like have love, and it's always come with like terms and conditions. But these people, this person that's coming in, that's going to communicate with you in such a gentle and beautiful way, and receive you in such a gentle and beautiful way, and love you in a very caring and kind way, is going to allow you to trust again that not everyone is out to hurt you, and that you don't have to be a soldier for love, that you can just be the embodiment of it. That's it for this message today. I send you guys off with love. Have a great day.